we have Darren Elkins, Darren the Damage Elkins. I gotta say his the whole name just for the viewers. Darren the Damage Elkins versus TJ Downtown Brown. Yeah, very. It's gonna be a very fun fight, I think. Darren Elkins, he is 27-11, 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off against that JSP, Jonathan St. Pierce. He, Jonathan Pierce just really manhandled him throughout that decision. So coming out pretty brutal beating, in my opinion. 39 years old, 5'10", 71-inch reach. He is the classic UFC vet, right? The guy that is from the kind of stone ages of the UFC. Um, TJ Brown, downtown, is 17-10. He's also 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off of that submission against Bill Algeo, where he got submitted by rear naked choke. 33 years old, so he is going to be the younger fighter here compared to 39 years old for Darren Elkins. 5'9", 72-inch reach. So they're both pretty similar in terms of their physical attributes. Um, just looking at their stats here, there's a reason why this guy is named the Damage. I mean, he is take one to give one. He does land three. Surprisingly, he does have a positive striking differential, but from the last few fights that I've seen, doesn't seem like it. Seems like he just takes a lot of damage. 3.53 strikes land per minute, 3.35 strikes absorbed. He does have some solid grappling as far as the 2.73 takedowns every 15 minutes. But you have to keep in mind, I mean, Darren Elkins is 39 years old, right? So the stats may be kind of skewed just because of the amount of times this guy's actually fought. I mean, he's been, just to let you know, this guy has fought since 2010. He fought Charles Oliveira in 2010. So this guy's been in the UFC for a long time. He also fought Dwayne Ludwig, who's a coach now. So this guy's a seasoned vet, if I say so myself. This guy's a very seasoned vet. Um, it, just being blunt here, I mean, I think TJ seems like the better younger fighter here. TJ is a more of a wrestling based fighter, but he does mix in the stand up, maybe sometimes to his own detriment because he does he can get knocked out at times. Um, I think that TJ also he does have some bad IQ moments, so at times like that Bill Algeo fight, I mean, he can stay in the pocket for too long and get dropped like he did in that fight. He can also get out grapple controlled, like when he fought the near Becca, right? Um, so he's shown me that he has multiple ways to lose, which is not great if you're a favorite, in my opinion. He does have some good offensive grappling, but I think he has pretty poor defensive grappling. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, a sus gas tank as well. So the thing that Darren Elkins probably does have over him, even though Darren Elkins, I think, is not UFC caliber anymore, I think that he does have good durability and a good cardio, good gas tank. Even though he's bad as far as his skill set, he can weather storms and not get tired. So that's something that when you match him up against TJ Brown, who has a sus gas tank, bad IQ, bad defensive wrestling, I could easily see TJ Brown, even though he's the younger, better fighter overall in terms of skill, I could see him getting into a dogfight with Darren Elkins, and that might not be good to get in a dogfight with a guy that's named the Damage, because even if you damage him, he's just going to keep coming forward at you, and you have to have on you have to have a pretty good pace like a JSP Jonathan Pierce, where he just kept on taking him down, ground and pounding him, and controlling him. But do I trust TJ Brown to do that? I don't know. Based on the odds, I mean, TJ Brown's a minus 180 right now, opened up at minus 225. So people did take that Darren Elkins dog money. And that's the theme that we're seeing right throughout this whole card. A lot of these fights, people are taking the dog money here. There hasn't really been that favorite that has kind of stayed that favorite, unless it's Terrence McKinney, but those lines just kind of dropped like really recently, so we don't have too much action on that one yet. So a lot of people have been taking dog money on a lot of these fights, so that's really interesting there. Um, yeah, I think I'm staying away from this fight. I mean, I can't trust either fighter, honestly. TJ Brown has almost 2-1 fave with all of his question marks. I think I'm good on that, especially against a UFC vet like Darren Elkins, who can survive and get to a potentially gritty decision. I think that I'm good. So I'll stay away from this fight. Can't trust either fighter. The pick is going to be TJ Brown, but I'm staying away from this fight. What do you think about this feature prelim here?
Um, Darren Elkins, the damage. I think, man,
That dude
he's
has
been
the
he's been
damage tattooed across his chest. It's
yeah,
crazy. That's crazy.
he's been at this game for a while now, and 27-11 is impressive.
Yeah.
That's that's a decorated record. And TJ Brown already has 10 losses, and he's only at 17 wins. Um, so yeah, there's the experience there for sure. I think Darren Elkins probably has the highest premium MMA health insurance in the game right now, because I think I heard somewhere that maybe somewhere in the first round or something, he off of a takedown or something against Jonathan Pierce,
Hmm.
JSP. He injured he had 3 injuries
Oh,
from
yeah.
from from that fight off of one move, I think. And then he continued, he finished the fight. He went
Yeah.
all 3 rounds. He didn't stop or cry or do a verbal quit or submission. He just continued even with the injuries. And yeah, this guy just keeps coming. So that's a dangerous thing. I think when I look at him, I see no real fight talent, but his talent is his effort and his gas tank. That's his premier talent in fighting is that effort. He just keeps coming. Um, yeah, he can really grind it out, and that could be a huge problem for TJ Brown, whose whose best skill is game for anything. So he's game to trade and gamble during the fight when he could just be using his skills and just be not too risky and just stick to the game plan of just striking, get out of there, don't stay in the pocket too long. Um, and yeah, he has good, decent offense in wrestling. So this fight, I don't know. I think Darren Elkins and TJ Brown's wrestling might cancel out each other in this fight. Darren Elkins is 39 now, and I do think Father Time is gonna be catching up, and it could be this fight. Um, yeah, TJ Brown, I think okay, I don't know. I'm not in his head. I don't know if he's gonna choose to increase his IQ in the fight, but once he hears the fight starts, it's like that all goes away. It's like, all right, let's
Exactly.
bang. He's like, all right, nice one, let's go, and then trade. He's ready to trade. Uh, yeah, and then he ends up losing even when he's winning those fights. But I think Father Time will catch up in this one and actually have TJ Brown as my lock
Wow.
on this card. And that says a lot about how hard this card is to find a lock to where I
Yeah.
go to TJ Brown. So this could just be a high confidence play, but he's actually the only fighter on this card that I found as a possible lock who's not a crazy favorite.
Mm.
So yeah, TJ Brown is my lock on this card. And yeah, I think there maybe UFC is trying to find a fighter to get Darren Elkins to retire at some point,
Mhm.
and it might be TJ Brown.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, lock for TJ Brown. Never thought I'd hear those words, but here we are in this card, right? Like you mentioned, it's a very hard card to predict. So I think that there's going to be not a lot of opportunities as far as for a giggle lock. Just curious, I mean, how do you think this fight's going to play out? If you say TJ Brown's going to win, do you think he's going to finish or like decision, or what were your thoughts there?
I think I think TJ is live for a finish because I think Darren Elkins is happy to stand and bang,
Mhm.
stand and trade, and I think just over the years he's had so many. Yeah, he's tested his chin so much that it it laps TJ Brown's chin by miles. So I think
Yeah.
Brown's youth and his power will be able to do more damage than what Darren Elkins will bring if TJ chooses to trade and gamble at times. And I am also impressed with TJ Brown's submission grappling. So he has that in his pocket if he chooses to use it. But Darren Elkins is a great wrestler and a great gas tank. So it could be a tougher, but he does have it in his pocket.